Asmat Gurubhyo Namaha, Asmat Parama Gurubhyo Namaha, Asmat Sarva Gurubhyo Namaha. So we're continuing on with our discussion of Hari Bhakti Vilasa. And last time we were discussing three different sections of the day and how we should worship the deity in those three sections and how we should meditate on that. And now we come to a point of offering all of our activities to the Lord, right? So before we finished off with actually there was also not just three different times in the day, there was also at night. So duties at night. So we finished that also. So I'm guessing after you finish all of your duties at night and all your worship of the Lord, then at the end of the day, the idea is to offer all of your activities to the Lord. So, of course, we're in the 11th Vilasa. So text 44 is also beginning of a section where we talk about offering of our activities, offering about everything that we do. So in the Bhagavad Gita, of course, Krishna says, Yat karosi yadasnasi, yat jahosi dadasi yat, yat tapasyasi kaunteya, tat kurushva madarpanam. That whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer and give away, you should do it as a service unto me, O Arjuna. So it says here, Ata, again, it's the beginning of a discussion of a topic. Ahoratra, you can just say aha, but ahoratra means a day and night. Karma arpanam. Arpana means to offer. Vidi means the procedure for offering one's activities. We're offering the fruit of the activities, the fruits of our activities to the Lord. So here we have a sloka from a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, 2nd chapter, text 36. And this is very interesting sloka because it's very much like there's another sloka which is almost exactly the same as this. So this sloka says, Kayena vachamana sindriyarva, Budyatmana va, Ushrita swabhavat, Vanushrita swabhavat, Karoti yat sakalam parasmai narayanayiti samarpayetat. Okay. So the normal verse that we normally chant, like at the end of Vishnu Sahasranam Parayana or something like that, or just any time after any activity that we perform, goes like this. Kayena vachamana sindriyarva, budyatmana va prakate swabhavat, kuromi yad sakalam parasmai, narayanayeti samarpayami. Okay? So that's the way it's normally chanted. But this is one from the Bhagavatam, which is almost exactly the same. So it says, in accordance with the particular nature one has acquired, whatever one does with his body, words, mind, senses, and intelligence should be offered to the Supreme Lord, thinking this is for the pleasure of Lord Narayana. So the way it's stated in the Bhagavatam, it's like an injunction that you should offer everything to the Lord. You should offer the fruit or the pala, the fruit of all your activities to the Lord, like that. So in the other version of it, you say samarpayami at the end. Samarpayami, of course, for those people who know about deity worship, is a word that we use. Samarpayami means I offer to you. I offer to you. So it's more of a prayer to be made at the end of doing different activities. So it's a very, very important prayer. So everybody should know this prayer and should, those persons who are not performing their devotional service with some gain in mind, right? What are the four main gains of human beings, the four main goals of human life? The dharma, artha, kama, and moksha, right? So if those are not things that, if you aspire after those things, then perhaps you shouldn't say this because you want some gain. But here, the person who doesn't want that, who is doing pure devotional service without any expectation of return from the Lord and just wants to serve the Lord, he will say this type of a prayer. Okay. So text 45. In this regard, it's also stated, O Vishnu, O Lord, please accept whatever good or bad activities I have performed as your worship. So it's interesting here, the point being that not only do we pray to the Lord to accept anything good that we offered or any good devotional service that we performed, but he was also saying, even if I did something bad, you should accept that also. And obviously you want forgiveness if you've made some mistake. I don't know exactly the previous verse, the one that's like that. I'm not sure of the actual. I could try to find out what the actual source is, but here the Bhagavatam is almost exactly the same. It may be that somebody just took this Bhagavatam sloka and made it into a more of an active sentence, more of a prayer to the Lord rather than an injunction, right? That one should do this, because that's the way it's stated in the Bhagavatam. Okay, so okay, we this is also a nice thing to chant here. Sadhu, sadhu va sadhu, right? The word va in Sanskrit, right? Sadhu here is meaning, auspicious, means good, like that. Sadhu va sadhu, good or bad, va karma, sadhu va asadhu va, right? It means whether we've done something good or whether we've done something bad. Yadat acharitam maya tat sarvam, all of that, Bhagavan Vishnu grahana, please, we're offering that to you. Aradhanam param. Yeah, nice. So text 46, it's also said, may Lord Janardana be pleased with all my good actions that were performed at home, in the water, while sleeping, while sitting, during the day or during the night, or while walking. Okay, so these different activities are being explained here. And basically the idea is, of course, there are some religions around the world where there are specific things that you do, and even in Vaishnavism and Hinduism, there are specific religious acts that people do to pray to God or to serve God. But here, basically what it's saying all of my activities, my whole life is offered to you. My whole life is being offered to you, right? All my good actions that are performed at home, everything I do at home, in the water. Remember, when we leave, we're leaving the house to go and bathe before we perform ritualistic worship of the Lord, right, to purify the body. So in the water, because ritualistic bathing usually means immersion in water. It doesn't just mean pouring some water on the head, but it means actual full body immersion. While sleeping, right, so that other half of the day, or 8 hours or 6 hours or however much of the day that we spend just completely unconscious, that also we're also offering that, sleeping, while sleeping. May my dreams also be about devotional service. That's nice. So while sitting, during day or during night, and while walking, this verse is trying to cover all of our activities throughout our life, throughout our day, and therefore we should offer all these things to the Lord. May he be pleased with all these actions that I'm doing. And at the same time, it will remind us that we should always be doing only good actions, only actions in devotional service. So here, text 47, it continues on. The Supreme Lord spoke this verse to Brahma, Lord Brahma, and it's found in the Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, 9th chapter, 41st verse. It is the opinion of expert transcendentalists that the ultimate goal of performing all traditional good works, penances, sacrifices, charities, mystic activities, trances, etc., is to invoke my satisfaction. So that's what the Supreme Lord is saying. He's saying that, so we can definitely take that as being correct. He's saying that all penances, all works, everything. It reminds us in the Bhagavatam of the story about how Krishna and Balaram were hungry and they went to the Brahmins and they wanted the Brahmins to give them some food. And the Brahmin said, no, we're too busy doing sacrifices. But who are they doing sacrifices to? they're doing sacrifices to Yajnavai Vishnu. So Vishnu is sacrifice. They're offering food into the fire. They're offering grains and ghee into the fire, which means they're feeding Lord Vishnu like that. Instead, Lord Vishnu was standing right in front of them. Krishna was standing right in front of them. The Supreme Lord's there asking for food. They could have simply fed Lord Krishna with the grains and with the ghee like that. Of course, the wives of the Brahmins were much more intelligent in a sense because they understood. They understood that Krishna is God, and Krishna and Balarama asked them to be fed, so they simply fed the boys instead of their husbands were thinking, no, these are just little boys, and we don't let them disturb our sacrifice that we're doing. It's also like the same thing with the Govardhan Hill story, you know. The people in Vrindavan, they wanted to offer sacrifice. They wanted to offer so many things to the demigods, to Indra, to the devatas, which is only indirect. It's only an indirect way of worshiping God, of worshiping Krishna. But they could have actually offered everything directly to Krishna in the form of Govardhan Hill. So it's, in so many ways, we can understand that everything that we do should be offered to the Supreme Lord, whether indirectly or directly. What is his Krishna says, everyone follows my path in all respects. Okay, so everybody is actually serving God, either directly or indirectly. It's better to serve him directly, though. And when we serve him directly, everything that we do, all as Vaishnavas, all of our activities should be offered to God. Text 48. In this way, with his hard-earned wealth and engaging his sincere relatives, a devotee should worship the Lord to achieve all types of perfection. So we're coming to the end of the devotee's daily activities. So at the end, he should be thinking, everything that I've done today, right, I'm doing as a service to the Lord. And he's also engaging, it's interesting here, he's saying he's also engaging his sincere relatives in that as well. So not only doing service to the Lord, but also engaging others in the service of the Lord. This is also a Brahminical thing. So there's these 6 Brahminical occupations. Yajna are the very first ones. So for doing worshipping of the Lord and engaging others in worshipping the Lord. This is Yajna. So then the other 4, of course, are Pachadapasana, Dana, and Patigriya. Okay, so study and teaching and giving charity and accepting charity. Okay, so text 49. Again, we have it says a ta, so we can consider this maybe another subtopic here. So it says puja pala samaptyupaya. Upaya means the means. The means, samapt, of offering, right? Samprapt. So samprapt, attaining, and samprapt, the means of attaining, pala, the fruit of the worship, right? So it's being translated here as the way to attain the benefit of one's worship, right? So just now, it's interesting. Just now we prayed that we don't want the benefit and we're giving up the benefit. Okay, so now he's saying how to obtain the benefit. Right, so in the 10th canto of the Bhagavatam, 84th chapter, text 37, it's stated, this is the most auspicious path for a religious householder of the twice-born orders. What are the twice-born orders? Brahmins, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas. To selflessly worship the personality of Godhead with wealth honestly obtained. So the important part there is that the person should use honestly obtained wealth. And he should offer everything to the Lord. Selfless worship. Text 50 from the Augustus Samhita. Remember, Augustus Samhita is quoted quite often in Hari Bhakti Vilasa. It has a lot to do with the worship of Lord Rama, but let's see what it says here. O Brahmana, one should give charity, perform sacrifice, worship the Lord, and perform other such activities utilizing the wealth he had earned by proper means. So again, emphasizing wealth obtained by proper or honest means. However, if one does not utilize his wealth in this way, even if he worships the Supreme Lord with money that or even if he worships the Supreme Lord with money that is earned illegally, he will become degraded. Okay, so there's 2 points here. 3 points. First is reiterating this point that we should worship the Lord with honestly obtained wealth. The second thing is, if we don't take that honestly obtained wealth and we don't use it for the service of the Lord, then we'll become degraded. So we have to, because the Supreme Lord owns and controls everything. Sarvam yat kincha jagatam jagate in Upanishad. The Supreme Lord says he owns and controls everything. So people who take something, right, for themselves and don't utilize it for the Lord, it's actually a robbery because it's his property. Even the wealth that we think that we have generated ourselves. So somebody may be a very, entrepreneurial businessman. He's made a lot of wealth. He's created a lot of wealth. He's created jobs. Another person may be creating, food even or dairy products from farming. You may think that you're creating these things, but actually you're not really creating these things. All of these things come about only by the Lord's mercy, and so therefore it has to be offered back to the Lord. So if you don't offer this rightly obtained wealth or honestly obtained wealth back to the Lord, then you become degraded, right? And similarly, if you somehow illegally obtain wealth, obtain riches, or some way illegally, then you also become degraded like that. Or if you try to even if you try to worship the Lord with illegal money, that's bad. You'll become degraded. Actually, everything belongs to him. So in a sense, anything that we gain, if we think it's ours, that's illegal. It's the mentality of thinking that it's ours that is the thing which is illegal. Makes things illegal. If we understand everything to belong to Krishna, then there's nothing illegal. Okay, so text 51. Those who wish to make their livelihood successful should worship the Lord with offerings made purely at home. If one's unable to do this, then he should offer what is available in the market. If one's unable to do this, he should observe someone else worshiping the Lord. Okay, so here's 3 alternatives. First of all, whatever you can do at home. In your own home garden, you can grow flowers. You can worship the Lord with whatever's available in your home. If you don't have something at home, then you have to go to the market and purchase it. So you have to work and create some wealth, and with the wealth you can then buy the ingredients necessary, what we call samagris, for doing the worship of the Lord. If you can't even do that, right, or if you're so poor, then you can observe someone else worshiping the Lord, right? Or we can do it within the mind. Meditating, doing manasa puja is it's like observing somebody else, it's like observing somebody else doing puja. Of course, in the mind, the soul is thinking in the mind of doing mentally worship of the Lord. So that's actually doing it yourself. But here he's saying you can observe someone else also who's doing the worship. And just by observing somebody else doing worship, that is considered to be one way of doing worship. When we go to the temple, we can't personally go in the deity room and touch the deity and do the worship of the Lord unless we're a pujari or an archika. So normally we go to the temple, we have darshan of the Lord. He sees us, we see him, and we observe the pujaris. Maybe we even bring the fruits or bring some flowers or something like that. We observe the pujaris actually doing the actual worship of the Lord, the offering to the Lord. So that's the third way. Text 52 and 53, it says, the way of attaining the benefit of worship for one who's unable to personally perform it. Again, from the Augustus Samhita, a couple of verses here. If one is unable to worship the Lord, then he should donate something that is required for the worship. Right. So if we want to support the temple, or we want to support the worship in the house, if I go to someone else's house, sometimes when people invite other people over to their house, they bring a gift or they bring something for the householder. So a Vaishnava, maybe he brings something that can be offered to the Lord, that can be used in the Lord's service in the house. Because everybody, all Vaishnavas, we're all worshiping the Lord, whether in the house or in In the temple, we're worshiping the Lord. So somebody can bring something. I brought some flowers to the temple, or I brought some flowers to your house. You can offer them to your deities. That's very nice. Or some fruits. What does Krishna say? Patram pushpam palam toyam. There's some water, fruits, flowers, leaves. If offered with devotion, these things are very nice. So if he is somehow unable to do this, then he should carefully observe the Lord being worshipped. Right. So you can donate something for another person to use in his worship. And if possible, you can also observe him using that thing or offering that thing to the Lord. O great sage, watching the Lord's worship is the means to cross over the ocean of material existence. There is no doubt that one who is unwilling to even do so becomes degraded. So one should definitely want to see the worship of the Lord, even if one cannot personally perform it himself. If he sees somebody else do it, and this is the process also in the house many times, not just in the temple where the pujari is doing the direct worship, but in the house, there may be one member of the family, maybe the father or something like that, is doing the worship, and the rest of the family are observing the worship. They're seeing the worship go on. Not that one person in the house goes and worships the deity in the house and nobody else has a relationship with the deity in the house. We, as Vaishnavas, we consider the deity to be like the owner of the house. The deity is the owner of the house. The deity is the owner of the temple. At least we have to think of the deity as an honored guest in the house. So who would invite an honored guest to their house and not meet them? You know, if some honorable person is coming to your house, all the members of the family should come to greet them, not just the head of the household. So this is an important subject here. Everybody should be engaged in the worship of the Lord according to their position. So text 54 and 55, a devotee who personally collects the things that will be offered to the Lord during his worship surely obtains the complete benefit of such service. One who devotedly worships the Lord with offerings that are collected by someone else will receive only half the benefit. Okay, so it's interesting the way it's put here, right? So we have these 5 sections of the day. We have Abhigamana, Upadana. Upadana means collecting the things, the ingredients or the samagris for the external worship. So here it's saying, in the same literature, this is coming from Agastya Samhita, right? Here it's saying that a person who just collects the ingredients and brings them for the other person to do the worship, that person obtains the complete benefit of the person's worship, of that person's worship. He also gets the complete benefit, right? However, a person who devotedly worships the Lord, that person who's doing the worship, right, with that the ingredients collected by somebody else, he only gets half worship. He only gets half the benefit. He only gets half the benefit. The person who collected the tulsi leaves and the flowers and the fruits and everything like that, and brings them for the pujari in the temple, or brings them for the person in the house to do the worship personally in the house, that person gets full benefit. But the person who personally does it himself with love and devotion, personally does the worship with items that are brought by others, with items that have been brought by others. Others have expended their energy and efforts and wealth to bring the ingredients. He only gets half. That person only gets half the benefit. So it's better. It's actually better. You get more benefit by bringing the ingredients, collecting the ingredients, than by doing the puja personally. So this is why sometimes people, they look at these different activities, Abhigamana, Upadana, Ijat, Swajaya, and Yoga, and they think, well, which is the best one? Puja. The most important one must be the worship, the direct worship of the Lord. But here, this sloka is saying, if you did the worship of the Lord, the Ija, but you didn't do the Upadana, somebody else collected all the things, then you only get half the benefit. But if you did the Upadana, and you collected all the ingredients, but you didn't actually do the worship, somebody else did the worship, you gave it to them and they did the worship, you get the full benefit. But that's really an interesting point. That's really an interesting point. So the upadana seems to be more important even than the ija, because what is the mentality in upadana? The mentality is that I'm collecting all these things for the benefit of the Lord. Of course, in ija, in puja, in aradhana, the mentality should be I'm offering all these things for the pleasure of the Lord. But still, the effort involved in collecting all the items is maybe much greater. It may not be, but it may also be much greater than the actual worship going on. Sometimes we find this, whenever anybody who has ever done big pujas or things like that, sometimes you'll have an assistant, and the main priest will have an assistant, and sometimes we call the assistant a gopher. We'll say, go for this and go for that, go get this and go get that, because I need this. And we'll give a list of ingredients that we need for the worship. We'll give it to that person or to those people who are the yajamanas, who are the sponsors of the worship, and they have to get that together. They have to bring all the items. And sometimes, of course, we bring some items as well, or we bring all the items. It depends on the situation. But in any case, the people who bring the items, those people are considered here more important. They get the full benefit of the worship, whereas the people. So this is the pramana, a very good pramana for yajamana. Because who is the yajamana? Yajamana is a person who sponsors the worship. He pays for it. He pays for all the items. He may arrange all the items. That person gets full benefit. The person who simply does the worship, he only gets half benefit. He gets half benefit, like that. So this is very instructive for those persons who perform worship for other people, right? And also, it should be instructive for the yajamanas, for the people who are thinking of sponsoring a puja. Sometimes you get these people. There are different types of sacrifice. There's sacrifice in the mode of goodness, sacrifice in the mode of ignorance, sacrifice in the mode of passion. So they all, if you can read in Bhagavad Gita about the qualities of different sacrifice in the mode of goodness is done to the proper person at the proper time with the proper person doing the puja and all these things, with proper remuneration, dakshina for the priest and everything like that. In the mode of ignorance, however, person doesn't give the proper remuneration, doesn't give anything to the priest. So if you don't bring the items for the worship and you don't pay the priest his deduction of the sacrificial fee like that, then who gets the benefit? The priest gets the benefit. If he's brought everything and he's done everything like that, if you didn't bring anything, if you want the full benefit of worship, so this is a very nice verse. We should frame this verse and we can show this to yajamanas. If you want the full benefit, you need to provide all the items and you need to give the proper dakshin and everything, and then you'll get the full benefit of the worship. Otherwise, the benefit of the worship goes to the person who personally collects all the items and does the worship himself. So, okay, continue on with verse 56. It says, in the Kartika Mahatmyam, the glories of the month of Kartik, right, Damodar, it's October, November, right, section of the Padma Purana, this verse is found in the conversation between Lord Krishna and his consort in Dwarka, Satyabhama, who's an incarnation of Bhudevi, the goddess of the earth. So, if a devotee, due to poverty, right, very poor devotee, begs from another person the things that he will offer during his worship to the Lord, then all the benefit derived from his worship will go to that person. The person who gave this is also backing up the statement about Yajamanas. The Yajamana gives the money or gives all the ingredients for the worship. The person who does that gets all the benefit from the worship. Text 57. Atha Darshana Mahatmyam. Okay, so now we're starting another small topic here. What about the glorification, the Mahatmyam of watching the worship? The glories of watching the Lord's puja, the Lord's aradhana, the Lord's ija, the worship. In the Padma Purana, right, there's a statement found in the conversation between Pulasya and Bhagirata. It says, those who make it a habit to observe Lord Janardana being worshipped obtain the benefit of donating 100 brown cows. Okay, so brown cow is supposed to be very auspicious, and so that's the benefit. Observing the worship of Lord Janardana means Krishna. So then text 58 to 60 from the Agni Purana mentions, one who personally witnesses the worship of the Lord with devotion, or who faithfully approves of such worship, receives the benefit or the merit of performing a fire sacrifice. There is no doubt that a devotee who faithfully sees the Supreme Lord being worshipped will receive such benefit each and every time he does. The pure-hearted soul who joyfully dances and encourages others to dance after seeing the Lord's puja attains the abode of the Supreme Brahman, the abode of the Lord Krishna. So, text 61, Atha Shri Bhagavan Murti Darshana Nityata, the eternality of having a darshan of the Supreme Lord, the deity of the Supreme Lord. So in Vishnu Dharmottara, it says, sinful people continue to travel on the wheel of birth and death until they see the enchanting form of Lord Keshava. Specifically here, it's talking about Lord Keshava means Krishna's form, Krishna's deity form. Text 62, also from the Padma Purana, says, a Vaishnava does not observe the worship of the deity. If a Vaishnava does not observe the worship of the deity, then all his charity, performance of fire sacrifices, chanting of mantras, even though dedicated to the Lord, go to the demons. One should worship the deity. So this is also there in Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Of course, there's always this dual track of chanting and worship of the Lord in the deity form. So deity worship and chanting. So here it's saying, if you don't worship the deity, if a Vaishnava doesn't worship the deity, then he can give all the charity he likes, perform all the fire sacrifices he likes, right? Do all the japa that he likes. What does it say here? It says, datam hutam japtam. Tesham, these activities of datam, of charity, of giving, of hutam, of offering sacrifice, and japtam, of chanting. They'll all be useless. They'll all go to the demons. Daityeya, unto the demons. They'll go unto the demons. They will go. Upatishtati, will be fixed for the demons. The demons will have all of the benefit. Text 63, in conversation between Supreme Lord Narayana and Narada Muni, recorded in the same Purana, again that's Agni Purana, those who never have darshan of the Lord, that was installed according to the prescribed rules and regulations, will be punished by the servants of Yamaraj. So in order to avoid going to hell and be judged by Yamaraj, one should definitely do deity worship, or at least see the deity, have darshan of the deity, see others worshiping the Lord. Text 64. Atha Bhagavad Artha Dravya Dhana Mahatmyam. So Dravya Dana means not only monetary donations, right? Dana means donations, right? Dravya means of items, different items for the worship of the Lord. Dravya, ingredients, samagris. Bhagavad Artha, for the benefit of the Lord, right? The glories of giving donations for the Lord's worship. In the Skanda Purana, it's described, anything given to devotees of Vishnu with the aim of satisfying the Lord assures one of liberation in the near future. So again here, even if we offer something to the devotees of the Lord, that is considered to be satisfying the Lord. Right? We should try to satisfy the Lord either directly or indirectly through the devotees. Radhananam sarvisham Vishnu Radhanam param, which means that the greatest Worship is the worship of the Lord, but even worshiping the devotees, the tariya, that which is associated with the Lord, that is even greater. So we can satisfy the Lord in those two ways, by worshiping him directly or by worshiping him through the devotees, by offering things to the devotees. In the Kurma Purana, it's stated in verse 65 here, whenever one gives to a Brahmin for the pleasure of Lord Vishnu, is certainly accepted by the Lord and awards one unlimited benefit. Text 66 to 68, also from Vishnu Dharmottara. This is from Kurma Purana, we had Vishnu Dharmottara above. It is stated, those who attempt to satisfy Lord Narayana, thinking that he may become pleased with a particular person in difficulty, are not misguided. Those who attempt to satisfy Lord Narayana, thinking that he may be pleased with a particular person in difficulty, are not misguided. The Lord actually becomes pleased by such an endeavor. Anything offered to the lotus-eyed Supreme Lord, who carries conch, club, discus, and lotus in his hands, who has no beginning or end, and who is inexhaustible, never goes in vain. Nothing is actually lost if it is somehow or other offered to Janardana, the Lord of the demigods. One should know for certain that Janardana alone is the suitable candidate for receiving charity. It's interesting that they use this word Janardana, because the word Jana means people, right? And sometimes in India you hear the slogan Jana Seva, Janardana Seva, that if we worship people, service to man is service to God, is what they say, like that. Well, it's true if the people are Vaishnavas. If the people are devotees of God, then if we serve those devotees of God, then that is also pleasing to God. So here it's just saying that one can attempt to satisfy the Lord by helping other persons in difficulty, that he may become pleased with a person in difficulty and not misguided. Right. So we can offer anything to the Lord also, and if we offer it with love and he accepts it, we offer it for him, then one should know that for certain that Lord Janardana alone is suitable candidate for receiving charity. So everything should be offered to the Lord or to the Lord's devotee. Text 69 and 71. In the third khanda of the same literature, we're talking about the literature here, Vishnu Dharmottara, it is stated, O foremost Brahmanas, the Supreme Lord certainly accepts whatever people offer him with devotion, even if it is mixed with material desire. Still, if one offers the Lord something with unalloyed devotion, he presses it to his chest with great care. Even an insignificant thing offered to the Lord without any personal desire awards an unlimited benefit. Offerings made to Lord Vishnu with a desire to obtain something in return are accepted by him at his lotus feet, whereas offerings made to him by devotees without material desire are accepted by him on his head. So, of course, spiritually speaking, there's no difference between the feet and the head of the Lord, but still, what the idea here is that if we offer something to the Lord, we offer something to it's accepted at his feet. Right? If we have some material desire, if we have some mixed desire with it. If we have no desire, he clutches it to his heart or he holds it on his head. It's much, he observes, this is the etiquette that we have with things, things that are very precious to us, we clutch to our heart or we touch to our head. Things that are not so precious to us, we keep at our feet, like that. So the Lord does the same thing like that with the offerings of devotees, like that. So it's much better if we have no desire when we approach the Lord, when we worship the Lord, we have no desire. But even if we have some desire, so what does it say in the Bhagavatam? It says, akama sarvakamo va mokshakama udaradi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. Okay, so it says that akama, whether you have no desires, or sarva karma, you have all desires, or even moksha karma, even if you desire moksha, right? Because moksha is a desire. There's the dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. Of course, these other three, dharma, artha, and kama, are more material. Moksha is a transcendental desire, but still it's a desire like that. So there's nothing wrong with having these material desires either. When we worship the Lord to get those things. But Krishna says 4 types of people come to me. Somebody's coming for relief from distress. Somebody wants to gain wealth. Somebody's inquisitive. Somebody's in the know of the truth, right? Arta Jigyasa Arta Ti Gyanicha Bharatar Shabha in the 7th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. It's described. And of course, there are 4 types of people who don't come to Krishna, who turn away from Krishna, don't want to worship him. Namam Duskudhi no Mudha Pavadinte Naradana Maya Pritigyana Suram Bhavanashrita. These people, they don't worship God. But there are 4 types of people who do worship God. And some of them do have desires. They want to get happiness. They want to get freedom from distress. They want to gain wealth. They're inquisitive. Or the highest one of them is the Jnani, the person who is in knowledge of the Absolute and wants to, and knows his position, knows the Lord's position properly, and therefore wants to approach the Lord either for liberation or without any desire whatsoever, which is even beyond that. Pure devotional service is even beyond the desire for liberation. So that person. So here is saying that Krishna reciprocates with these different types of devotees in different ways. By accepting their offering at his feet, by accepting their offering at his heart or his head, if they have no desire. So, text 72 to 74, in this connection, Narada Muni has made the following statements in Moksha Dharma. Moksha Dharma seems to me to be a section of Mahabharata, maybe a section of Mahabharata, or maybe it's a section of Purana, but anyway, it could be Mahabharata. Whatever Brahma, Shiva, and the great sages eat, as well as all the sacrificial offerings that are accepted by the demigods, Daityas, Danavas, Rakshasas, Nagas, Suparnas, Gandharvas, Siddhas, and great saintly kings, attain the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. However, the Lord personally puts on his head whatever was offered to him by his unalloyed devotees with love and devotion. So sacrificial offerings to different personalities are meant for those persons' enjoyment. And that's an indirect way of worshiping the Lord. And those sort of offerings, if we think we can serve the Lord indirectly by doing those things, then we can offer them and the Lord accepts them at his feet. But when the pure devotees, the unalloyed devotees, the ones that don't have any material desires, when they offer something to the Lord, that is accepted by him on his head. So now we have Ata, another small section here. Ata Dana Vishesha Palam. Palam means the fruit or the result of Vishesha, special Dana, special charity, special offering to the Lord. So Dana Vishesha, I think, means a special offering. Special. He's saying here the Palam is special. Okay, could be, right? This is all one compound here. The Palam of the Dana Vishesha, of the special offering. The fruit of the special benefit of offering something to the Lord. That's how he's translated it. Or we could say the benefit of a special offering to the Lord. So in the Brahma Purana, it's described, if a person donates even a single cow with her calf for the service of Lord Krishna, then all of his desires will be fulfilled. Why is the mention of a cow being offered with a calf? Because the cow with the calf is giving milk. If a cow has a calf, that means the cow is giving milk, and that cow is more auspicious than a cow that doesn't have a calf, who is not giving milk. So, text 76 and 77 from the Narasimha Purana says, one who donates a black cow for the service of Lord Krishna obtains the merit of performing a horse sacrifice and becomes qualified to go back to Godhead. What more can be said? Such a person becomes liberated from all sinful reactions adorned with all types of ornaments, obtains the benefit of giving cows in charity, and at the end of his life, he's promoted to the spiritual world. Text 78 to 81 from Vishnu Dharmottara again. It's stated, by donating a cow that gives ample milk to a temple of the Supreme Lord, so that her milk, yogurt, and ghee can be engaged in the service of the Lord, one becomes eligible to reside in Goloka. So this is interesting because the word Goloka also includes the word cow, Goloka, the place of cows, or the planet of cows, right? And if we offer a cow to the Lord, then we get the cow planet. We get the residents of the cow planet. Nice. So one who donates a cow so that her milk can be used for making madhuparka, that will be offered to the Lord, obtains unlimited benefit. One who digs a pond and dedicates it to the service of the Lord becomes free from all sinful reactions. One who constructs a pond to beautify an ashram of ascetics and decorates it with trees that produce fruits and flowers becomes qualified to reside in Svetadvipa. He will no longer have to suffer the miseries of repeated birth and death. One who constructs roads or a village near the Lord's temple will conquer his enemies, achieve great fame, and continue to rule his kingdom. Nice. So does it actually say Madhuparka up here? I'm not sure. Payasvi. Dadik Shira Grita. Dadik Shira Grita means Dadi means yogurt, Shira means milk, and Grita means ghee. And it says here, Datva Gam Madhuparkaya. Madhuparka, which is mentioned here, was not mentioned before, as far as I know, in Hari Bhakti Vilasa, or maybe it was mentioned in the different upacharas coming in Vilasa number 5. We'll have to look that up. But Madhuparka is a respectful drink that you offer to a guest when the guest arrives. So we know in the wedding ceremony, in the Vivaha Samskara, when the groom arrives at the sacrificial arena or the Yagashala, the Yaga Mandapa, the Vivaha Mandapa, the marriage place, then the father of the bride has to offer Madhuparka to the groom who comes, the Vara. And so this Madhuparka is also offered in the worship of the Lord at the beginning as a reception drink for the Lord. And the word madhu means honey, so it should be flavored with some honey, or at least it should be a sweet drink. And most usually it also contains products of the cow, such as milk, yogurt, and maybe even a little bit of ghee. So then it goes through, it describes about digging ponds and making ponds, nice ponds which are used to keep water very fresh or to take bath in, or to contain water that can be used for worship. And it's also very nice for the animals. The ponds are very nice for the animals, but what to speak of the ascetics, the Vaishnavas who live in the ashrams, if there's a pond around the ashram. Sometimes, especially in South India, even in North India, you see many temples, they have their own artificial pond or artificial tank next to the temple. This is especially true in South India. Every temple has got a bathing tank, a tank in front of it. Water for the worship of the deity will be brought from that tank sometimes, or maybe from a separate well. But certainly devotees who visit the temple, they take bath in that place, in that tank. Near Sri Rangam, there's a very famous temple called Tiruvellarai, which is on a big white granite hill, and next to that there's a tank. The temple tank is in the shape of a swastika. It's the only one in India in the shape of a swastika. You walk down the arms of the swastika down into the ground and turn the corner, and then you're in the middle. There's the tank, which is it's more like a step well or a well. Okay, so it talks about offering, Also constructing, planting trees that give fruits and flowers around the tank. This is also even constructing roads or a village near to the Lord's temple. Why? Because the roads will help the devotees come to the temple. The village will allow devotees to visit and to stay and to live around the Lord and to visit the temple and to perform the worship of the Lord. So all of these things are very important. Text 82 to 84, one who establishes a city for the service of Lord Vishnu will become an emperor. One who donates a palanquin, a carrier or a vahana, for the service of Lord Narayana will become the king of heaven. One who donates a horse for the service of Lord Vishnu will reside in heaven. So there might be a horse that would pull the chariot cart of the Lord, the Rath Yatra, or there might be a horse, even a golden horse, like in Sri Rangam, Lord Ranganatha, he's got a golden horse that he rides on sometimes in his processions. So either a real horse or a horse vahanam, or an artificial horse covered with gold or silver. One who donates a horse for the service of Lord Vishnu will reside in heaven like a brightly shining sun. If a pious person donates an elephant, you can also have the elephant carrier, right? An elephant for the service of the Lord, then he will become an emperor of the earth after residing in the abode of Indra. So there's an elephant vahana, a silver elephant that the Lord can ride. If you go to Vrindavan certain times of the year, you'll see even Radharaman on a silver elephant sometimes. In the howdah, which is the little cubicle that they put on top of the elephant, the seat and the canopy over the seat, right? Canopied seat that goes on top of an elephant in a procession. We're coming up to Navaratri now, and during the Navaratri in Mysore, in South India, they have a procession. It used to be that the Maharaja would go on an elephant with his family in a howdah on top of the elephant made of pure gold. You can still see the thing that goes on top of the elephant made of pure gold, this howdah. But nowadays, instead of the Maharaja sitting in it, they take the deity of Chamundi Devi, who's the presiding deity of Mysore, and they put her inside that deity inside that howdah, and they have the elephant procession at Navaratri. It's very famous. If you go to the palace, in the Darbar hall of the main hall, the Darshan hall of the king of Mysore, on all the walls they have this procession painted, and all the thousands of people in the procession are all painted. They were all accurately painted, all their actual features, so you can pick out certain people. And it has the elephant and it has the golden howdah. I think this howdah is like 240 kilos of gold or something. They still have it there, and you can see it. You can see it go on the elephant during Navaratri festivals, and of course, it's guarded very strongly guarded by people, by the army there, because of it being so expensive, made of gold. Anyway, these are all things that you can do. You can establish a city. You can donate a horse. You can donate a palanquin. You can donate an elephant. In temples in South India, especially, not so much in North India anymore, but they do have elephants that do service in the temple. The most famous temple that has elephants doing service in it is the temple of Guruvayurappan, of Lord Krishna in Kerala state. And that's a famous place for elephants. And the elephants, they actually have 3 elephant processions every single day of the year, as well as a big elephant race during the year when the elephants race down the main street of the town. And the elephants know that the elephant that wins the race gets to carry the deity of Lord Krishna in the most famous festival that they have. Yeah. So elephants can also be used in the service of the Lord. They use the elephants in South Indian temples. They use them to bow down before the Lord. In Sri Rangam, the elephant bows down and trumpets to wake up the Lord every morning. They use the elephant to bring water from the Kaveri River on its back every morning for the worship of the deity. They use the elephant in the processions to precede the procession of the Lord. You in some other temples, like in Udupi, Sri Krishna temple in Udupi, they use the elephants to fan the deity with the chamara fan. They also use to offer garlands on the deity, or they even fan and offer garlands onto different swamis or auspicious people, great devotees who come and visit the temple. The elephant can put a garland on that person. There's also there's one tradition in Sri Rangam where the temple elephant actually dances on two legs and plays a harmonica with its trunk while dancing in front of the shrine of Goddess Mahalakshmi Ranganayaki in Sri Rangam. So that's something to be seen. I've personally seen that. And I don't know why they do it, but it's a very nice thing that the elephant does. And so elephants are great devotees of the Lord. They say in Guruvayur, the temple Guruvayur, that the elephants are actually greater devotees than the priests. They say they have over the main doors to the temple in Guruvayur, they have the two big tusks of one very famous elephant called Keshavan, who was so famous and devotee of Lord Guruvayurappan that he used to fast on eclodices. Right, so this is an elephant. Elephants eat tons and tons of grass and banana stalks and all sorts of things every day. But this elephant was such a Vaishnava devotee, he used to fast on eclodices. And when he came to the end of his life, he knew that he was going to pass away. So he went to the temple, he circumambulated the deity and paid his last respects to the deity by bowing down before the deity before passing away. So this elephant is considered there's a whole book about this elephant that you can read, the stories about this elephant. So the elephants are also considered great devotees. We have the story of Gajendra in the Bhagavatam. Gajendra was the king of elephants, and Lord Vishnu came and saved him from the bite of a crocodile when he had completely given up hope of surviving the fight with the crocodile. He thought, at least with my last breath, I can grasp a lotus flower from the pond in my trunk and I can offer it symbolically in meditation to the Supreme Lord. This is what he thought. And the Lord immediately came and came to his rescue. The Lord was in Vaikuntha and he rushed to the place of Gajendra to save Gajendra without even properly getting dressed properly, and he rushed there like that. So you can see some of these pastimes are reenacted. Actually, in Sri Rangam, they reenacted. They take the elephant down to the river, and they take the deity down to the river, and they reenact this. Even in Vrindavan, in the Rangaji temple in Vrindavan, they have the artificial tank of the temple, and they have a wooden crocodile with a movable mouth that opens and closes. And they reenact this Gajendra Moksha in Vrindavan also. So you can see that. Anyway, continuing on with text 85 to 87, we have the exalted Brahmanas. Exalted Brahmanas, one can attain Brahmaloka by donating transcendental literature such as Srimad Bhagavatam, which is full of topics of the Supreme Lord. If one who donates literature to the temple of the Supreme Lord will reside in the abode of Saraswati. Saraswati is the consort of Lord Brahma. One who hires professional orators to recite the Vedic literature in the temple of the Lord obtains the benefit of distributing knowledge and will reside in the abode of Brahma. So not only does the Lord want us to directly give donations to the temple like that of horses and elephants and palanquins and all these different things, but also the scriptures. The scriptures can be donated. We can offer donations to persons who are preaching the scriptures, who are explaining the scriptures to people like that. And this is also considered to be helping to distribute the knowledge of the devotional service of the Lord. Text 88 to 91. By donating a conch shell for the worship of the Lord. We use the conch shell for bathing the Lord. There's another type of conch shell we can use for making a wonderful sound during the puja of the Lord, the worship of the Lord, by blowing it. One attains the abode of Varuna. This is because the conch shell, of course, the conch shell comes from the ocean, and so therefore, if we offer a conch shell to Vishnu, we go to the abode of Varuna, which is the ocean. So, and then later is born in human society, destined to become very famous by donating a bell to the temple. So there are different bells. There's a bell when we go in the temple, we make a sound, and there's another bell that people ring when they offer arti or when they do puja. Okay, so bell is also very important. It's considered to be a very auspicious sound. Drives away all the demons, attracts all the devotees and the devatas. So the bell is a very important part of worship, especially in the temple. And by donating a bell to a temple, one obtains great fame. By erecting a raised platform or stage, one becomes a king. The raised platform here is probably what we mean by an altar or a standila. I can't exactly see. So we got Shankar Varuna Loka, okay. Ganta Pradani, okay. So now there's some other things here. Mahavedim. So Vedim, a Vedim. Vedim is like an altar. It's like an altar. So erecting an altar, a type of altar, could also be a standila, a place where we perform Homa Kunda. Right, so if we donate an altar or raise or erect an altar or a standila, or donate a fire pit to somebody, then one becomes a king. The gate for entering any planet becomes wide open for a person who builds an archway or a gateway in front of the temple of Lord Vishnu. You see, some temples, they have these special ornate gateways. In Sri Rangam, of course, they have the 400 foot high Rajagopuram in the south entrance of the temple, which was donated by a lot of rich people and movie stars and millionaires in Tamil Nadu. And the Ahobala Mutt, the 44th sannyasi of the Ahobala Mutt, he collected all that money and he built that temple recently. It was only finished, I believe, in 1986. When I first went to Sri Rangam, that was not there. That was just the way that Lord Chaitanya saw it 500 years ago when he went there. It was not completed. It was only 1 story high. And then they made it up to 400 feet, like that. So we've seen that built even within our own lifetimes. So the point is, we build an archway or a gateway in the temple of the Lord, or construct a yagashala or a, what's it called here? It's called Toranam. Toranam means with flags, and there's a flag can also be put up. Flag can also be put up. Sometimes, like if you go to Dwarka, if you go to the temple of Dwarka, you can pay, and every day a different group will pay, and they'll put a flag up. The same thing in Puri, they'll put a flag up. Your flag, you have a very nice flag made for the temple, and they'll put it up if you donate the flag and you make a donation to the temple. You put up your flag. So Dwarka and Puri can do that. Many other temples also fly flags, right? It's very common. So text 92 to 93, anyone who donates musical instruments or artistically made containers, which are used for the puja or for the temple, to be used in the temple of the Supreme Lord, will attain a status equal to Ganesh. Excuse me. Equal to Ganesh. So Ganesh is a devata, the lord of clearing away obstacles in devotional service. And so just by donating kartals or a drum or a harmonium, some musical instrument that can be used, right? Or else different containers that can be used in the temple of the Lord. Anyone who donates a new pitcher, a jug or pitcher, to be used in the service of the Supreme Lord, is freed from all the sinful reactions and attains the abode of Varuna. So I'm just looking for the word of kumbha. Kumbha means a pot. a pot that's used in the service of the Lord, for the worship of the Lord. So there's all these different things that we can donate to the temple. We can donate for the service of the Lord. Text 94 to 96, anyone who donates 4 pitchers or 4 pots, right, to a temple of the Supreme Lord will enjoy ruling the earth, which is surrounded by 4 oceans. So 4 pots which can be filled with water for the service of the deity, right? A pot contains a very small amount of water. But if you offer 4 pots that can contain water to the Lord, you end up ruling the world, which is surrounded by 4 oceans. The exalted Brahmana, simply by donating a single pitcher, a single pot, right, with devotion for the service of Lord Hari, one becomes qualified to rule the earth as a pious king. There's no doubt of this. One who donates small pitchers or glasses for the service of the Lord will attain the abode of Varuna. By donating a water pot for the service of the Lord, one will obtain the merit of performing a fire sacrifice. Text 97 to 98. By donating paraphernalia for the worship of the Lord, even simple pots for assisting such worship, one is awarded the merit of performing a sacrifice that fulfills all of one's desires. One who donates a fan made of palm leaf, right, in South India, will achieve great happiness and satisfaction. By donating a container for keeping flowers, incense, sandalwood paste, or some other thing used for the worship of the Lord, one receives all kinds of opulence. Okay, so in South India, they have palm leaf umbrellas that are made, and they have palm leaf fans. And sometimes the Brahmins sit and they'll fan themselves with palm leaf fans, or you can get a palm leaf fan and fan the deity. They have big palm leaves over the deity and they pull it back and forth. Sometimes in Vrindavan also you see this, maybe not made of palm leaf, but they have a big fan, which is just like a big piece of cloth, and it's pulled back and forth through the air above the deity. And there'll be somebody there pulling a rope with a pulley, and the fan will go back and forth like this, and especially in the hot season. Of course, in the hot season, sometimes also they sprinkle water in the temples, and it makes it cooler because the water evaporates from the heat, and that causes everybody to cool down. By donating a container, so by donating containers, we have the containers. Containers. Then we also get this benefit. Containers that can contain flowers, incense, sandalwood paste, different containers for worshiping the Lord. One receives also opulence. So, of course, we were just talking about the pure unalloyed devotees. They don't want anything, but still, if you give certain things like that, there'll be certain reciprocation by the Lord, and he'll offer the devotees different things, different benefits. So text 99 to 101. By donating metal pots for the service of the Lord, one becomes qualified to possess wealth, knowledge, and opulence. By donating a bed and sitting mats, one becomes perpetually fixed in his position, right? Because when we sit on a mat or an asana, or when we lie down on a bedding like that, we stay still for some time. So it's interesting. So they're saying by offering that, you become fixed in your position. You're fixed in your devotion to the Lord. That's nice. The result, the donation has something to do with the result. In other words, it's very interesting the way that they've written this. And then the metal pots are also different metals. Metals are considered to be opulent, and so one gains opulence from wealth and opulence, also knowledge, by offering these metal pots. One's ambition will certainly be granted if one donates gold to the Lord. Gold. One becomes handsome by donating silver. Not exactly sure why silver would be for donating, but why why you become handsome by donating silver. Maybe it's because you could use silver to as a mirror or something. I don't know. I'm not sure. Interesting. Text 102 to 109. By donating diamonds and other jewels to the Lord, one will be worshipped by all kinds of men. By donating a bull, one obtains the merit of donating 10 cows. By donating a buffalo, a goat, a buffalo, a camel, a horse, one achieves 1,000 times more benefit than the above-mentioned donations. That is very interesting, that they would say donating a goat or a buffalo or a camel is better than donating a bull or 10 cows. That is very strange. That is most strange. I've never seen something like that. Anyway, that's what it says. O exalted Brahmana, by donating goats and sheep, one can attain the abode of Varuna. If one donates a camel, a donkey, or an ass, will be promoted to the abode of Alakapuri, where he will enjoy in the company of the foremost yakshas. Text 110 and 111. Those who arrange a magic show. What is the word here for magic show? Prekshaniya pradanina. Okay. One who, he's translated as a magic show. One who arranges a magic show in the temple for the satisfaction of the Lord, some sort of spectacle. And his devotees will go to reside in the abode of Indra. Those who hire professional singers to glorify the Supreme Lord in his temple will go to the resort to reside in the abode of Brahma. There's no doubt of this. Those who donate drums to be used in the temple will live a glorious life in this world. Text 112 and 113. By donating rice paddy means the rice which has got the husk still on it, hasn't been husked, wheat, barley, and other grains or sprouted seeds, one obtains the merit of worshipping the Lord. Does it mention sprouts here? Bijani, it says here, means seeds. Dhanya means the paddy, and bijani means the seeds. I didn't see where it exactly said sprouts, but anyway. Usually the word for sprout is ankura. I don't see it exactly. Okay, so one offering those grains or sprouts, one obtains the merit of worshiping the Lord. Those who donate vegetables, spinach, other types of food for the service of the Lord will not remain merged in the pool of lamentation. They'll become happy. So, similarly, one who donates flowering plants to the temple of the Lord will become a king. One who donates fruit trees will become the ruler of his province. Text 115 to 116. Those who donate perfume and silk cloth to Lord Janardana, not quite, I guess perfume and silk cloth, to Lord Janardana, the Lord of the demigods, obtains the benefit of performing a horse sacrifice by donating a comb for the service of the Lord, because even the Lord has hair and he needs a comb to comb his hair. So by donating a comb for the service of the Lord, or at least it can be offered to the Lord, one's bodily hair vanishes and his beard disappears so that he looks clean and healthy. Just offer a comb to the Lord and automatically one's own bodily hairs get all cleaned up. Nice. Text 117 to 119. If one offers a valuable or excellent thing to the Lord, even a small quantity, he will receive a great deal of happiness as a result. We had earlier described the benefit one obtains by donating clothes and ornaments to Lord Krishna. Of course, these things have to be brand new. The cloth or the ornaments and things like this have to, when they're offered to the Lord. There are varieties of things used in the worship of the Supreme Lord. Vaishnavas who know very well the teachings of the Tantras, the word Tantra here, let's see if it says it in the Sanskrit. Sri Bhagavad Archane. Yeah, I don't see exactly the word. Tantrikaya Vaishnavaya Mataha. Okay. So those who know very well the worship of the Tantras. Now here, Tantras means Vaishnava Tantras. So sometimes people get the misunderstanding. They don't know what Tantra means and they think it has to do with Shiva or Shakti. But here we're talking about Vaishnava Tantras, and those Vaishnava Tantras are the Vaikhanasa Agamas or the Pancharatra Agamas. Specifically Pancharatra Agamas here is what we're talking about. So those who are very well versed in the teachings of the Tantras have prescribed an increase or decrease in the number of articles required for worship of the Lord, according to the capacity of the worshipper. That's very interesting. Shaktaya, Shaktyari Bedena. The difference between the difference between the Shakti or the ability, the effort of the person. There can be different upacharas or services which are offered. A variety of services, vivida, varieties of services in Srimad Bhagavad Archana, in the worship of the Lord. Now we're going to talk about, again, those different types of upacharas or services. So this is very important. We had preliminarily in Vilasa number 5, we had mention of the different upacharas, but here again he's going to reiterate the articles of worship or the services offered to the Lord. Again, it's a small subject here, so it begins with ata. Ata, vivida means different upachara services. These are the different services. According to the Agamas, the Agama Shastras, it says here. So, asana, swagate, sargye. So, asana, swagata, and argya. Padya achamaniyakam. Padya, water for washing the feet, and achamaniya, water for washing the mouth. Argya is water for washing the hands or for sprinkling over the head. Swagata means offering welcome. Asana means a place to sit. Madhuparka, right, which means that respectful reception drink, which contains milk products and honey. And achamya, achama snana. Achama snana. Achama means achamani again, washing the mouth after taking the reception drink. Snana means bath. Vasana, abaranicha, so dressing and decorating. Sugandha sumano drupaha. Sugandha sumano. Sugandha means offering scents or sandalwood paste. Sumano probably means smearing, right? And dhupa. Dhupa means offering incense. Deepa, offering lamps. Naivedya means offering foodstuffs. Vandanam, offering prayers. Prayojayed archanayam upacharam stu sodashaha. So this gives the 16 services. This is a list of the 16 services. Normally, these 16 services are offered. So the 16 ingredients for the worship of the Lord are offering a sitting place, greeting the Lord, offering padya, offering argya, offering achmani, offering madhuparka. He says offering achmani again, bathing the Lord, dressing the Lord, decorating, right, him with ornaments. That will be 10. Smearing sandalwood paste, that's 11. Offering flowers, 12. Incense, 13. Ghee lamp, 14. Food, 15. And prayers, 16. Like that. So here, it's interesting because he's counting it as Achamana. He's saying Achamana twice, and he's considering them both to be. So one is Achamana, one is Punachamana, offering it again. And he's counting them both as services, as part of the 16 services. I would tend to disagree, and I would say that Achamana is only one service, even though it's offered twice. So we can look we should look probably at the purport or the Digdarshani Tika of this this list, and we should see if we can take 16 things out of this, even including even if we include Achimana just once. Maybe we can't. Maybe this is such a thing. No, I'm not sure. This is from the arguments. Those are from the arguments. Okay, so now we have another set of another set which explains another set of slokas which explains the different upacharas. Text 122 to 123. We have Agyancha Padyachmana, right? Madhuparka Achimana Achimanyapi. Gandadyo Naivedyanta. Upachara Dasa Kramat. Okay, so these are the 10. These are the 10. So what previously, okay, so two or three worshippers back, slokas back, it said that according to the ability according to the capacity of the worshipper, he should either offer 16 services, or now he's given 10. He's given 10 that can be offered. So what are the 10? The 10, if you offer 10, if you can't offer 16, you offer 10. If you offer 10, it's Argya, Padya, Achmana, Madhuparka, Achmana, Ganda, Naivedya. That's not 10. Okay, so let's see. Argyancha, Padya, Achmana. Argya, Padya, Achmana. Madhuparka, Achmana. Ganda, Dayo, means beginning with Ganda and ending with Naivedya. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Okay, so the way it's said here, so the first 5 are Argya, Padya, Achmana, Madhuparka, and Achmana again. That's 5. Then you have beginning with Ganda, sandalwood paste, and ending with Naivedya. So that would be Ganda, Pushpa, Dhupa, Deepa, Naivedya. That's 5. Ganda, Pushpa, Dhupa, Deepa, Naivedya. Okay, so which I didn't think we had. Do we have Pushpa up here? We didn't have Pushpa, so Pushpa must be here. That's the one that I'm thinking of, which wasn't mentioned, but should be as one, right? So that way Achman is not twice. But he hasn't also mentioned. Flowers, offering flowers. He mentioned it. Okay, good. That's good. But where is it? Sumano, Sumanaha. You can look up and see what Sumanaha means in this one. I want to see what it says. That'll be interesting. Sumana. Okay. It can be name of various plants. So here, Sumana. Sumana, it can also just mean pleasant, cheerful, etc. Sumanaha. Yeah. But it can mean plants, offering flowers. Okay, good. That's good. So now we know what the 16 are. And now we know what the 10 are. So now we have, so that's in the first sloka here. Text 122 gives 10. So from 16 down to 10. From 10, the next set down is 5. And we already mentioned the 5. Gandharayo Naivedyanta. So Ganda, starting with Ganda, sandal paste, and ending with food, Naivedya, Bhoga. So Gandhadi beer, Naivedyantai. Puja Panchopachariki. Right? So Panchopachara, or the 5 services are Ganda, Pushpa, Dhupa, Deepa, Naivedya. Ganda, sandalwood paste, Pushpa, flowers, Dhupa, incense, Deepa, lamp, and finally food. Right, these tasam ekam samachayat. Tasam ekam samachayat. Sa pariyas trivida proktas. Tasam ekam samacharet. Oh, let's see what that means. Okay. So one may also worship the Lord with these 10 ingredients. Padya, Agya, Achmaniya, Madhuparka, Achmaniya, sandalwood paste or Ganda, flowers, Pushpa, incense, Dhupa, Deepa, a ghee lamp, and food. Right? So that's the 10. Dasopachara, Dashopachara. One should also worship the Lord with the five, can also worship with the five ingredients, Ganda, Pushpa, Dhupa, Deepa, Naivedya, right? So the flowers, incense, lamp, food, and sandal paste. One must adopt one of these three methods of worship. So this is a very good pramana. So these verses are very, very good. And these are from the Agamas. Everybody should know these verses then. And they can, when they recommend on people ask you, how should I do my worship? You can say, well, you can offer 16, you can offer 10, or you can offer 5. Now, something makes me believe that I think in Pancharatra Pradeep, maybe they also mentioned 12. But I have not seen 12 here. Maybe it's there in some other Shastra. 16, 10, and 5. These are very normal lists. Now, maybe we have other lists coming up. Let's have a look. Okay, so now we have texts 124 to 125. In some cases, these 16 ingredients are recommended, right? So this is a different list. Now, the interesting thing about this list is that they include some more things which are normally used, which are normally given for the Chalamurti, the movable deity, such as the Avahanam and Visarjanam, the invocation and the valediction, right, at the end, and also leaves out the Madhuparka, right? So in some cases, the 16th ingredients are recommended as asana, sitting place, avahana, greeting, padya and argya, achamaniya, right, for washing the hands and mouth, padya, argya, achamaniya for washing the hands, feet, and mouth, right, snana, bathing, water, right, vasana, dressing, bhushana, decorating with ornaments, ganda, pushpa, dhupa, deepa, naivedya are those 5 panchapacharas that we had before, pradakshina, circumambulating, and namaskara, offering obeisances, and immersion. He says immersion here, but that is a reference to valediction or visarjana. So let's look at the Sanskrit a little bit, and let's try to understand this a little bit more. Asana means a mat, means a sitting place. Avahanan chaiva, so asana with avahana. Put the asana down and invoke the Lord, or invite the Lord to come, greet the Lord. Padya, water for washing the feet, argya for water for washing the hands, achamaniya come, achamaniya, water for washing the mouth, snana, water for bathing, vasana means dressing the Lord, bhushanancha, with ornaments, offering ornaments, jewelry, ganda, sandalwood paste, pushpa, flowers, dhupa, incense, pradeepaschaiva, with offering a lamp, naivedya, pushpanjali means offering handfuls of flour. Pushpanjali, I don't know what Ratnapala means. Pradakshina he gives. Okay, he says pradakshina. He doesn't say pushpanjali in the translation. So put pradakshina, right, means namaskaram, and visargaschaiva. Visarga here would mean visarjana. Chaiva soda saha. So we have to see if this is in fact 16. So we have asana, avahana, padya, argya, achamaniya, snana, vasana, bhushana, ganda, pushpa, dhupa, deepa, naivedya, right? Pushpanjali and pradakshina, namaskara. Could be pradakshina namaskara. That's one thing in Visarga. In that case, it might work out at 16. If we say pradakshina namaskara is one thing, and make Pushpanjali something different. He's left out, in the translation, he's left out Pushpanjali, right? And he's made pradakshina namaskara as 2 things. I could make an argument that it's the other way around. But anyway, that's interesting. That's very interesting. So now these are also another list. This is also a very nice list. We should know these lists. For sure, these are very good pramanas for what services we have to officially offer to the deity. Text 126 to 140. Maybe we're going to get another list here. Let's have a look. Whoa. Okay. 64 items. Wow. Some recognized authorities have prescribed 64 ingredients of worship of the Lord. Although these ingredients vary, according to the opinions of various authorities, we will herein give only one set of these ingredients. Okay, so he's given this. So let's have a look here. Number 1, to wake up the sleeping Lord by chanting Vedic mantras, playing musical instruments such as the veena, and reciting prayers while standing before him. This is called Suprabhatam, right? Or Vishwarupam. So number 2, to chant all glories, right? Jai. To offer obeisances, right? We're offering obeisances to perform Mangala Arti, yes, which is considered the first Arti of the day. Number 5, to offer a sitting place, that's asana. To offer a twig or toothbrush, right? So some people also offer a tongue scraper, right? That's number 6. Number 7, to offer padya, water for washing feet, to offer arghya, water for washing the hands, or sprinkle over the head. Number 9, to offer achmaniya, water for cleansing the mouth. Number 10, to offer madhuparka and achmaniya, purna achmaniya. So offer the madhuparka, and the purna achmaniya is considered part of offering of madhuparka. So this is a very good way of understanding it, that purna achmaniya is not here a separate service, but it comes as part of offering that honey drink. We have to offer some water to cleanse the mouth after the honey drink. Now, number 11, offer paduka or shoes. The Lord needs to be offered shoes so he can go to the different asanas, the different places where the other parts of the worship are performed. Specifically here, he's offered the shoes to go to the bathing receptacle or to go to the Shnana Griha, the bathing place. The Shnana Mandapa, right. To cleanse the Lord's body. So that's offering the bath. To massage the body with oil, his body with oil, right? That's number 13. Number 14, to remove the oil from the Lord's body, right? So there's a way of removing the oil from the Lord's body. Sometimes that's done with astringent powders, astringents or powders. To bathe him in scented water mixed with flower petals, number 15. 16, to bathe him with milk. 17, to bathe him with yogurt. 13, to bathe him with ghee. 18, to bathe him with ghee. 19, to bathe him with honey. To bathe him with sugar water. 20. 21, to bathe him with water that has been purified by mantras. 22, to wipe the Lord with a soft piece of cloth or a towel to dry him off. To dress, 23, to dress him with clothes and a chadar. So clothes meaning the main dress or the lower part of the body. And the chadar is the uttariya, which is offered at the upper part of the body. Either that, or if a deity has some sort of shirt or something like that, which we offer. Right. 24, to offer him a sacred thread. Right. Of course, before putting the uttariya on the upper part of the body, we have to offer the sacred thread, because the sacred thread goes underneath the cloth, the upper cloth. 25, to offer the achmaniya again, right? After this offering of food. Offering of clothes. To smear sandalwood paste over the body of the Lord. 27, to offer ornaments. 28, to offer flowers. 29, to offer incense. 30, to offer a ghee lamp. 31, to remove the cast of the evil eye. Sometimes this is done by taking a plate with some shallow plate with some water in it and some kumkum, and waving it in an arti fashion before the deity and chanting certain mantras. So, taking the cast of the evil eye. To offer food or naivedya is 32. 33, to offer a mouth refreshener, which may be the mukhavasa, certain spices which are helped to as a palate cleanser after eating the food. So 34, to offer betel nuts or pan, which is also offered after that. Number 35, to offer a beautiful bed. Number 36, to offer hairdressing articles like that comb that we read about by offering a comb. Number 37, to offer beautiful clothes. Number 38, to offer a crown. Number 39, to offer sandalwood paste. That's on the lotus feet of the Lord. And number 40, to offer ornaments such as the Kaustuba gem, the different jewelries. Number 41, to offer fragrant flowers. Number 42, to offer a grand arti. After the main puja is over, there's a grand arti. Number 44, to offer a mirror. Number 43, to offer a mirror. Number 44, to take him out into the courtyard. The Utsava deity or the festival deity, the movable festival deity, is taken in a palanquin around the temple or around the courtyard. Number 45, to place him on a throne. Number 46, to again offer him Padya Agya, etc. Number 48, to offer betel nuts and a grand arti. Number 49, to offer a chamara, which is a whisk tail, yak's tail whisk fan, and an umbrella, chatra. Right. Number 50, to sing before the Lord. Number 51, to play musical instruments before the Lord. Number 52, to dance before the Lord. Number 53, to circumambulate the deity. Number 54, to offer obeisances. Number 55, to offer prayers at his lotus feet. Number 56, to hold the Lord's lotus feet on one's head. Right. This is also accomplished in South India and in some temples in North India by placing the deity's shoes on the head of the personality of the devotees. Number 57, to touch the remnants of the flower garlands or flowers, nirmalya prasadam, to one's head. Number 58, to honor the Lord's remnants of food. Number 59, to sit before the Lord and massage his body, or especially his legs, at night, or at least by meditation. Number 60, to make the Lord's bed at night with soft bedding covered with fragrant flowers. Number 61, to make a gesture with both hands, inviting him to come to bed. Number 62, to glorify him, celebrating his arrival at the bed. Number 63, to place the Lord on his bed and offer him sandalwood paste, flowers, and betel nuts, as well as arti in the bed. Number 64, to lay him down on his bed and gently massage his lotus feet. So continuing on, text 141 to 143, it says, any ingredients that have not been listed in this connection can also be used in the worship of the Supreme Lord if they are in accordance with the rules and regulations prescribed by one's authorized disciplic succession. So once again, it says here, sadachara anusarena, if they follow good practices and good behavior. This right, and it specifically says here, I'm sure it's, I don't see the word sampradaya being used in the Sanskrit, but it's understood that according to our tradition, according to our sect and sampradaya, actually every devotee should engage in worship of Lord Sri Krishna on a daily, as a regular daily function, and everyone should participate in the grand festivals such as Janmashtami, other appearance days of the Lord. There may be some more excellent ingredients for worship that I have failed to mention, and these are to be ascertained from learned devotees who are found in many places. If any of the above ingredients are not available, then the devotee should offer whatever he can collect, or he can offer the unavailable ingredients to the Supreme Lord within his mind.